So after dropping their previous three games, and especially after the game we saw this weekend against their bitter rival, the Texas Longhorns, in one of the biggest games in all of college football, there are several questions we need to ask about the Oklahoma Sooners. Can the Sooners recover? Can they regain any positive momentum in 2022? And most importantly, will this affect Oklahoma's recruiting? Today, we aim to answer some of those questions and talk about several other issues. Before we can, as always, y'all know the drill. I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Do you believe the Oklahoma Sooners can recapture any positive momentum in 2022? And let me know what you're thinking. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it, and if you enjoyed this content, be sure to like and comment down below as those interactions are massive. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And before we begin, I'd like to turn your attention to this evening's live stream at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be recapping all the great action from Week 6 of college football, but we're going to have special guests on, Oklahoma content creators, Texas content creators. That way we can take a deep dive into the biggest game of Week 6, the Red River rivalry, and talk about what happened during the game and where each program goes after the game. I'd love to have you there. It's going to be an awesome discussion. But now, let's talk about the future of the Oklahoma Sooners, because coming off of these past three losses, and especially after the loss this weekend, there are several questions we must ask. And as I asked in the intro, the first one I'd like to identify is, can Oklahoma recover and regain any positive momentum in 2022? The answer to this, in short, is yes. Look, we're only halfway through the season, so there's still plenty of time and opportunity for Oklahoma to recapture some positive momentum. And what a better way to do it than starting with this weekend? Now, I'm not saying I'm picking Oklahoma to go and beat Kansas. Kansas has been one of the more impressive teams in college football, and they've certainly been one of the most fun teams in college football. My point here is that you have an opportunity against a team that has been highly impressive, that has been extremely fun, to go out there and play hard-nosed Oklahoma football. If you do that, if you lose by a touchdown, I think that's much easier to stomach than getting blown out. Because right now, Oklahoma has to look for the little things. They have to look for the little things to hold on to continue building towards a positive outcome. Getting back to Oklahoma football would be a great step in the right direction after the loss you had this weekend. Because whenever you lose in that manner against a rival, there are several questions that arise from those type of losses. And the most important is, how are you going to respond? That's why I say this weekend is a great opportunity, because we're going to get several answers. We're going to see how Oklahoma responds after the loss they just took to their bitter rival. Not only are we going to see how they respond after that loss, we're going to see how they respond after going 0-3 in conference play. There are several different things we can look to try and learn about the Oklahoma Sooners regardless of the outcome of that game. And so that's why I say, if Oklahoma loses the game by a touchdown or by a field goal, but they look like they're getting back to playing Oklahoma football, there is at least something you can take from that. And I understand there are going to be people in the comments saying, but that's a moral victory. Yes, at the point where you're trying to recover your season, you have to look for moral victories, because they're things you can build off of. In college football, nuance does matter, and I think we get so caught up in saying it's a win, it's a loss, that we lose sight of the nuance that goes into these games, and the coaches don't lose sight of that nuance. It is very important to them. So, in short, yes, Oklahoma can try and recover some positive momentum, but I also think we need to understand that it might look different than straight up wins and losses. And the answer to, can this affect recruiting, is both yes and no. If things stay like they are in the status quo, yes, this could absolutely affect recruiting, because recruits are going to be much more likely to go to an institution that's trending in a positive direction than one that looks like it has a lot of uncertainty around it. So that's why I say recapturing some sort of momentum is paramount for the Oklahoma Sooners, and even if it's not coming in wins, as long as we watch you play, you look like you're a competitive team, and we can say, hey, that's a team to watch in 2023. They look like they were building something. That's regaining positive momentum. That's something that can help you recruiting. But if things stay as they are, and Oklahoma goes out every weekend and is getting drummed, it could easily affect recruiting for the Oklahoma Sooners. Now, you have great recruiters on this staff, from Brent Venables to Todd Bates. You have got guys that are ace recruiters, so you have to like your chances at being able to keep a lot of the guys in the class at least happy at where the future will go, because of the quality of recruiter you have and the quality of institution that Oklahoma has been, quite frankly. But nonetheless, Oklahoma does have to make some changes in 2022 to regain some momentum and to enter 2023 on a high note. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking about this game. I can't wait to hear from you. That's it. See ya.